round of applause, QPR's Rio Ferdinand. We're lucky enough to have 3 organisations here. I'll ask the first one. Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo. You guys agree?
It's mixed, isn't it? I don't know, it depends which capacity you want to be involved in. Not everyone can be that footballer that goes and plays out in front of the fans in the stadiums, but what I tell a lot of my friends and a lot of the kids that I kind of see over the course of the years is that there's so many different jobs around football, from being a physio, from working in the football environment with being a sports lawyer maybe in the media, covering football. I can go on and on and on. So if you can't be that guy that's out there playing or that girl that's out there playing, then the interest will keep you motivated to stay in the sport or in football or whatever sport you choose to kind of take up other aspects and other lanes. And I think it's important. For me personally, if I didn't play football, I would have done something that was definitely around football because that's what would have got me out of bed in the mornings. Played with 2, I'd say, for pure natural ability, Scholes. He was just, we'd go away in the summer, have do what you're doing, then come back after having like 4 to 6 weeks off, and it'd normally take you like 2 weeks to get your eye back in, to get your touch right, your passing right, your skills right. Scholes, he'd bang on the first day, was the best, back like he'd never been away. Same first touch, beautiful, nice passing. It was just, if you said to him, right, hit that ball over there, he'd be the first one to do it. He's just like, it was ridiculous.
You guys know who Paul Scholes is?
What kind of question is that, man?
You might not know who Paul Scholes is.
And the other one's Ronaldo, just because he was just, from the day we signed him, I knew, and all of us knew that he was going to be like destined to be the best player in the world at some point. And he's, not just because he had ability, but because his mentality, he worked hard. He's probably the hardest working player I've ever seen in terms of how he trained, the way off the pitch, the way he ate food, type of food he ate, the rest he took up. He weren't like into raving all the time and stuff like that. He was just focused on becoming the best, and it was just like, you could see the drive in him. It was just there from day one.
So flipping that question, playing against, toughest opponent?
Do you remember Raul? He used to play for Real Madrid. Yeah, now some of you saying no. But YouTube him, he was all right. You got to have a goal in life. I've always, every single season since I was probably 16 years old, I had like goals. So for instance, when I started the season, before the season started, I'd say, right, when I was 16, I want to be in the youth team, the under 18s team. I want to make sure I play maybe 10 games and become a regular by Christmas. And then I'd set out to do that. Then I'd set myself goals in training. I've got to train hard. I've got to be better than the next guy I'm training with. And then when I was at West Ham, he called me to go and train with the first team when I was 16 and 17. I'd go over there and I would just try whatever exercise we were doing. I would try my hardest to embarrass anyone I was playing against or with, whether it be running, doing pre-season running, and we had to run 10, like do 100 meters, jog back 100 meters. I'd make sure I was leaving everyone for dead all the time, and they were going, "Come back, Rio, you can't." I said, "No, I want the manager to notice me and know that I'm there." And so I used to do that all the time. And nowadays, I see some young players come over and they're a little bit shy and a little bit. I don't really want to tackle a first team player hard or do a skill, make him look silly. Well, when I was a kid, I didn't care. I was ruthless like that. And I just thought, if the manager don't notice me, I'm not meant to be here then. So, and then once I hit the target, say I hit the target by Christmas, I'd set new targets. I would always just shoot. I've always used like negative situations in my life. When I first become a professional footballer, I was going out and living like any other 18-year-old, but I was obviously had more money. And I had more invitations to all the nightclubs, and I weren't saying no to nothing. I was going to every nightclub, every invitation. I was out drinking, doing mad stuff, and I got in trouble quite a few times in the papers and etc. So, but I couldn't understand at the time why. I was like to my mum, my dad. My mum was going, "What are you doing? You got to start staying in the house a bit more." And I was like, "Mum, all my mates are going out all the time. What do you mean?" Well, you're a footballer. You got responsibilities now. You can't. People look up to you, etc. You got the responsibility of the club behind you, and it took me a long time to understand that. And once I did realise that, any time I had any negative situations like the one you mentioned there, I used to use it as fuel for that when I was training. When I went to training, if I was banned or if anything like that, or if there was something in the papers bad about me, I'd always have that in the back of my mind during training or before or just after, whatever, while I was doing in the gym, extra stuff in the gym to be, and I'd use that. So when I come back and I'd play a game, or I'm in a run of games, I want to be able to do a press conference, and then when I see the guy who's writing about me, I want to be able to look him in the eye and go, pardon, what are you saying again? And that's the way I used to always use it. And then there were times when I did pull people up, like reporters and stuff, and say, I remember you said to me, oh, I'm finished, or I'm this, or I'm that. What are you saying now? I just won the league. And then that's the way I used it, and that's the way, but people are individually different, do you know what I mean? Some people I know you should just want to block everything out of their mind and keep it to one side and don't let it get into their mind, their thoughts or anything, whereas I was different. I used to want to read everything and use that. Because when I was young, I'm from Peckham in South London, so on an estate, and so from Catford. Yeah,
no gunshots, no gunshots.
So I used to be with my mates on the estate all the time, and we'd say, I ain't never leaving the estate. No matter if I make it as a footballer, there's no chance I'm leaving, blah, blah. And then once you become a footballer, things change a little bit. People change around you, and more than often than not, you don't necessarily change. People around you, they kind of expect different things from you and stuff. And so I eventually moved my mum and my dad and everything out of Peckham and lived there. And but I always was of the mindset, we used to go have a adventure playground on my estate. So I used to always go there, and I used to look up to the people that ran it. And so if I didn't become a footballer, I used to think I'd be someone like that. So I thought if I become a footballer and I get the means and ability to be able to go and put something in place that kind of helps young people, I'd want to do it. So that's really the basis of why. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like any young guy who wants, or girl who wants to be a footballer, the dream is playing for England, and captaining England was just like the icing on the cake. And I think the only problem with my generation is when we played, we didn't win nothing, and we didn't even get near to winning anything. So it was a bit rubbish in that respect, but it was still, to pull on the shirt and play at Wembley in front of the fans is just unbelievable. I'll be working with kids in the community probably. A lot of my mates work for like Southwark Council or Lambeth Council, and I'll probably be doing the same. Yeah, I said he's probably one of the best players, if not the best player I've played against. And I just think, as I said, I always try and tell kids, like, he just never became the best player. He worked hard. He was never there. I think that's the difference between him and Messi. Messi is like a genius. What he does, he's magic. Like, he's an artist. He was born that way, born to play football. You can see the way it's so natural. Whereas Ronaldo, he had a certain amount of talent, but then he's drawn every inch and every ounce of talent that he had within his body out by working harder and produced what you see now. So it's whatever you like best. I prefer Ronaldo for myself, but that's because I played with him.